Hi, I'm Vivian the Knitter.
And I'm Alyson the Crocheter, and you're listening to Keep Calm and Carry Yarn.
Thank you so much for joining us for episode 46 of Keep Calm and Carry Yarn, a knitting and crochet podcast brought to you by me, Vivian, and my daughter, Alyson. I'm coming at you from New Hampshire.
And I'm recording from sunny Scotland.
Yay! Hello, sweetie. It's
Hiya.
sunny over here, too, finally.
Yay! Yeah, my cousin Danny is visiting, and yesterday when he got here, he said that it was warmer here than it was back in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a nor'easter blow through, so it was only in the 40s all day. It was very cold.
We've been in the 60s the last couple days, but it's due to get colder again and rainy. So,
yeah. Weather.
Enjoying it while we can.
We can never stop talking about the weather.
No. Right. So, thanks again for everyone who's listening in today. We have some special thank yous for some people who left us some messages on Ravelry. So thank you to Ginger999, who's from Lowell, Massachusetts, which is not so far from you. I used to get the train from Lowell to Boston.
Yep, just down the road.
Mm-hmm. As well, on Ravelry, she's Granuali. And that's Rika from Germany, but she started listening to us while she was in Peru. So, hello, Rika. And lastly, hello to Marisha. She says it rhymes with Patricia. Marisha Patricia from Oklahoma. And she's Moshuk on Ravelry. So,
hello.
Hi.
Thanks for saying hi.
Yeah, and we've been getting a lot of people recently like saying hi and saying how our podcast has encouraged them to do their craft, whether it's crocheting or knitting, like picking it up again or doing it more, or so that it's good.
Yeah, more crafting is always good.
Yeah. I was gonna say our podcast encourages me to do more crocheting.
Sometimes it's
that was
like
the whole
homework.
point, really, when we started it.
Yep.
So, if you listened in on our not really episode a couple weeks ago, you will know that this episode 46 was meant to come out at the beginning of the month, but we had some technical difficulties, which I think it's because I haven't restarted my computer or shut it down in months. So that was probably why. So it's my fault. So today we're going to hope that we have no technical difficulties.
Did you make a trial run?
I didn't. I forgot.
No. Sir, we're flying by the seat of our pants. As usual.
Mm-hmm. But we've got our BuzzFeed quiz, which I've now taken it 3 times, and every time I did one different answer this time because I was feeling in a different mood, and I still got the same answer. So the quiz is, let's find out which female Avenger you are based on your hobbies. Because we both saw Endgame, a few weeks ago now.
Well, we've seen it twice. We saw it opening weekend, and then we saw it again this past weekend.
Jeez. It's really fresh in your mind.
Yep.
Do you have any, new insights on it from watching it twice?
No, it's still kind of a blur. It's a 3-hour blur.
Oh, God, yeah, it was so long. Right, so I got Gamora. And it says, you got Gamora. You are competitive and feisty, yet principled. You can't resist the urge to dance to music no matter how hard you try. Though you've experienced great loss, you are loyal and dedicated to the people in your life. Which is pretty not really me.
Not the dancing part.
Generally speaking. I'm not very competitive. I guess I'll go with feisty. I can be feisty and loyal.
Yeah, I think that part is true. Well, I got Mantis. You are genuine, compassionate, and perceptive. You enjoy nature and are able to experience great amounts of empathy for others. Some people may believe you are quiet or reserved, but that's just because you are taking in information as you observe those around you.
How do you feel about that one?
I think it's pretty spot on.
Yeah?
Because, because I am inherently shy, believe it or not. So sometimes I just sit in the corner and just watch people. Yeah. I think it was pretty accurate. One of the more accurate quizzes that I've taken on BuzzFeed.
So the answer I changed this time around, which still resulted in me being Gamora, was what is your go-to indoor activity? So the options are having friends over, reading, listening to music, napping, surfing the web, and watching Netflix. And last time I put watching Netflix, but this time I put reading because I've been reading I think it's called The Bone Clocks by David Mitchell. So I've been really sucked into that. So I went for reading this time.
Oh, okay. Well, I went for watching Netflix, but the other one might have been napping because I've been taking naps lately. Wait, what was your favorite sport? Since neither of us are very sporty.
No.
That was kind of hard.
I picked gymnastics because I think...
You used to do gymnastics.
Yeah, but also I feel like it's the one that I wouldn't mind watching. Like track and field, boring to watch. Auto racing, boring to watch. Soccer, boring to watch. Tennis, boring to watch. MMA, I've never watched, but I'd probably still be bored. But I think like gymnastics is like dancing and
it's like almost it's like a sport, but it's almost like dancing. Yeah.
So did you pick gymnastics too? Did you say?
Yes, I did because I did do a little gymnastics when I was little, but I also did soccer. So I don't know. Soccer is just too much running around for me at this point.
What about board game? Chess, checkers, Clue, Life, Risk, or Monopoly. I think I'm very classic board games. Do the same ones?
I picked Clue.
Yeah, Clue. I like Clue because it's like a logic puzzle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you really like those.
Yeah.
Remember those teddy bear quizzes that you used to take when you were little? Like the blue teddy bears next to the green teddy bear or something like that.
It was like a stack. They were standing on each other's heads. And I think there was always 4 of them, and then you got like different clues to figure out, what color each teddy bear was. I'm pretty sure it was like 2nd grade and you could do them for like extra credit or like bonus points or something like that.
Yeah.
Even
back then, you were a nerd.
Yes. Right, on to the crafty content.
Yes, that would be great. Whips.
Let's see. Yeah, I had a whip last time I recorded, but it has become a FO, so now I don't have any whips. I've got some long-term whips, but I don't need to talk about them.
Oh, okay. I have a new whip that I just started yesterday.
Uh-huh.
And it is my Coraline sock from the sock book that I bought. What is it called again? Soxia. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it's the color work. So I was like, I guess I do. You know how I'm always saying that socks, I don't like doing pattern socks because I generally do socks on the go and they live in my purse.
Yeah.
And it has to be mindless. So I suppose these cannot be purse socks. These have to be real projects. And I didn't do a gauge swatch because the sock is the gauge swatch.
You're living life on the edge.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm a loose knitter apparently. Well, I've been told too by some people. Like, you're a loose knitter. It's like, yeah, I guess I am. So I started these on a size 1, which is 2.5 millimeters, I think.
Uh-huh.
And
that's smaller than the recommended, is it?
That's the smallest ones I had at home.
But is that smaller than what was recommended?
No, that was what was recommended.
Yeah.
And I'll have to go smaller. So that means I'm going to have to rip this cute, adorable cuff out and the little bit of color work I did and start over.
So this is the one where you bought the coral sort of color for the cuffs and heels and toes or whatever, and that's what you're sharing with
Paola.
Paola?
Yes, correct.
Right.
You are correct.
I can see a little bit of the color work, but remind me what the actual sock looks like?
It's got the coral colored cuffs, and then it's got these they're almost like coins. And for the color work for most of the leg, and then it's got blue and white stripes through the foot.
Right.
And the heel is an afterthought heel, which is coral, and the toe is coral too.
Right.
Yeah, so these will be pulled out completely, and I had to order size 0 needles because I don't have any size 0 needles at home. I don't think I have.
Does the sock pattern come in different sizes?
Yes, it comes in small. I was thinking maybe I can do the small, but then the fabric, I don't think I like the fabric the way it is now. I think I want it tighter.
Oh, yeah.
It's just looser. So that's what I'm doing. So next time around, it will probably be the same size or even smaller because I have to rip this one out.
You've not gotten that far, though.
Yeah, that's true. So you don't have any whips. Do you have any FOs? You do have an FO because you just mentioned that.
Yes, I've got a few FOs. So, what order do I want to do them? So, let me talk about a project that I finished. I finished the crocheting bits a while ago, and it's my Puffin Pillow, which was just
so
a puffin square for a really, really long time. So this is, I can't remember how long ago I did it. It must have been, it was after we went to the Isle of May, which was like a year ago. And then it took me a while to actually do. But basically, I found a photograph of a puffin online and used that to like create a chart. I think it was like an embroidery chart with one of those tools that you get online to turn it into a chart. So I could just do, I guess it was pretty like intarsia crochet. That's the one where, you got like multiple balls going depending on what color you're doing. And you just drop them and then pick them back up. So I finally turned it into a pillow. I bought the actual pillow a while ago as well. And then I bought some remnant fabric from John Lewis. It's like a cotton linen blend. Just, I would check the bin every once in a while when I was shopping there. I never found anything I liked. And this one was like, the blues kind of match. It's just sort of a watercolory floral leaf motif. So it doesn't really matter. But yeah, because the important part's the front. So yeah, so I've just found a tutorial online for like an envelope pillowcase, and I whipped that up, and it actually came out pretty good. And then I crocheted on the crochet bit the same way I did the backing for the baby blanket.
Yeah, I find that technique very ingenious.
Yeah, like if I make my pillows, I think that's the way to go, because then you don't have to crochet the whole pillow, and the way it's attached is quite nifty.
So you just have to do a running stitch around the fabric?
Around the fabric, yeah.
By hand?
By hand, yeah.
So that has to be pretty consistent, like the size of the stitches.
Yeah, like fairly consistent, but it's because when you're crocheting, so you do single crochets into the crochet piece you have and then into the running stitch that you've made, and you kind of just do it as you go. Like I did, for the most part, I would do 2 single crochets into each of the running stitches, but like every once in a while, depending on if like it felt like there was, I don't know, if the spacing was off, I'd maybe just do 1, or just sort of fudge it. Right, and then the other FO I have is, I've had it done for a while now, is my Win hat, which is a pattern by Harley Wentworth, and it's free on her blog, or you can pay for the PDF pattern. And I used West Yorkshire Spinners Jacob Aran yarn in like a mid-grey. I bought the yarn because I was contemplating starting an Etsy shop making stuff, so I like bought this yarn to test it and stuff. And then now I'm not sure about the Etsy shop thing, but I still have this yarn. and the pattern called for an Aran yarn, and it's like I don't have much Aran wool. So this was pretty much it. So it's very unisex looking. So the actual hat pattern itself is got like a like waves, or like
it looks from far away. It looks like knitted cables.
Yeah, you were saying like single cable, is that what you called it?
Yeah.
But yeah, because you work into like the back loops to create that sort of look. And then there's like short rows to form the top of the hat, so it's round. And you do it sideways and then seam it together. I didn't do a gauge, so I think it's actually, my stitches are definitely bigger because I think I'm a loose crocheter as well. So I just made it. I didn't do as much of it, and then I fold
around,
yeah, and then I fold up the brim, and yeah, so I can wear it, or Sam can wear it. Sam can wear it. Yeah, I don't know why that just sounded weird grammatically, but
I think you're more tired than you admit.
Sam could wear it. I don't know. Right.
What else would he do with it?
I don't know. It just I was like, I said Sam can wear it, and then in my head I was like, is it Sam can wears it? I know that's not right, but I just didn't. Something about it felt weird. Sam can wear it. But yeah. Anyway,
he can use it.
Yeah, he can use it. I started that on my flight to Orlando to see you guys in Florida, and then I finished it. I finished it when I was in Miami with Emily. And then when I was in Miami, I also started the second project I brought and finished it this weekend. So they're the Sky Blue Mittens by Tanya Oswald. And it's a paid for pattern in German and English. It's just like fingerless mitts.
It looks very squishy.
Yeah, so the yarn I use is very squishy. It's Joe Story hand knits barefaced double knit yarn. And it's, I think there's alpaca in it. Alpaca, yeah, 20% alpaca, 80% wool. And it's in like a dark charcoaly gray sort of color. I bought it when Sam and I drove down to England to go to Durham, and I made us drive the route, a specific route, so that we would pass by a yarn store. It was in Felton, Fine Fettle Fibers. Yes. Fine Fettle Fibers.
Say that 10 times fast.
But yeah, the pattern itself is, I liked it because there's lots of fingerless mitt crochet patterns, but this one was quite simple. It's got like, you do it sideways again, and it's got a ribbing at the bottom and then at the fingers and for the thumb holes, but then the body of it has this textured seed stitch, which is made doing slip stitches. The picture on the pattern page, you can really see the texture because they've used like a smooth
it's hard to see
merino
in your
yarn.
Dark.
Yeah, in my
your dark yarn,
and I think also because it's fluffier or fuzzier, it's harder to see. But you can see it a little bit. You can tell that it's a different texture. But yeah, I really like it, and I thought the thumb was ingenious because it uses short rows, so it's nice and round. The pattern itself is really detailed. It has photo tutorials for like the slip stitches and the different techniques to sew it together with this like invisible stitch, which mimics slip stitches through the back loop. It was really complicated, and I don't know if I did it right, but it looks okay. The one thing I didn't like was that it didn't tell you what side was the right side and the wrong side, so I had to I charted it out myself to try to figure it out. And then in classic case of I don't know if it's like a perfectionist thing or what, but the first one I did is definitely looser than the second one I did. I'd done a lot of the second one, and I'd done it quite a lot tighter, and it was smaller, shorter even than the first one. So I undid it and just like forced myself to relax. Did it again, and it's still slightly tighter than my first one. Is that right? Yeah. Probably better. I don't know if it was because my first one I was just trying to get to grips with the pattern, or I picked it up in a few different times rather than the second one I pretty much did all in one go. So I couldn't undo it. Also, it's not that big of a deal because it's not that much looser. But in my head, I was like, oh, if I could just undo it. But I'd already done the invisible stitch and sewed in all the ends, so I couldn't do that. So I've just, on the inside, it's mostly the cuff, like around your wrist. Yeah. So just on the inside, I did like slip stitches on the surface, just to
tighten it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a hard time controlling my gauge when I'm crocheting, and generally in one project, my gauge is always looser in the beginning, gets tighter and tighter as I go.
But why is that any different than controlling your gauge in knitting? Like, is it not just a matter of knowing how you're holding your yarn in your hands?
I think with crochet, because when you pull your loops through, remember when you're talking about like a tugger and a non-tugger? Yeah.
Yankers and lifters.
So
like that.
I think
there's less of that in knitting.
Yes.
Do you think?
Yes.
Well, I'm just thinking. Well, obviously, like when I did the pussy hat, I got a lot looser towards the end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that was just because I was figuring it out, so I was relaxing a bit more instead of like feeling like I had to like clutch onto everything like really tightly.
Well, it's easier for me to have consistent gauge in a knitting pattern versus crochet, and I think a lot of it is just practice, but also it's easier to like change your gauge as you go along when you're crocheting. Does that make sense?
Maybe, yeah.
Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know.
Well, no, I was gonna say like because I don't know. So did you have any FOs?
Yes, I have my giant FO. It's my white sweater. I haven't blocked it yet, and I was actually wearing it this morning. So it really looks funny. It looks very.
Looks funny.
Can you see? It looks short. Because I think it's just the nature of how the yoke is.
It goes quite far down.
It goes pretty far down. The pattern of this the lace and the color work, and so proportionately it looks like it should be longer. But but once you put it on, you're like, no, it's the right length. And right now it is. I think I need to block it so it's just block it a little bit longer though.
But do you like the way it looks on?
Covers my belly button. I like the way
that was not a great sigh.
Each other. But it's not the most flattering on me because I think it's a little big in the armpits right now. So I don't know if that'll be fixed after I block it.
Well, if you wear it a few times and decide, oh, I don't like this, I'll just take it.
It'll be way too big for you.
Yeah, but I'll just wear it as like a baggy sweater over leggings.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just I think it's a beautiful sweater. I just don't know if I look beautiful in it.
So, like, do you think if you knew in advance that this was the way it was going to fit, like, if you were going to make it a second time, is there anything you could do, like, adjustments that you could make to make it fit you better? Or the way you would want it to fit?
I'm not sure. Maybe, I'm not sure. Maybe do the lace in a smaller needle. Can you hear the cat scratching at the door?
No.
She's like, let me in. But it's a beautiful pattern. And I can't wait to start my next sweater. I still have to wind some yarn and do some swatching before I can start my next sweater.
What are you going to do?
What am I going to do? I am going to do I forget what it's called.
Okay, what yarn are you going to use?
I'm going to use the yarn that we got at EYF. The biche. The yarn.
You going to bleep that out?
Okay.
The biche boucher
yarn.
Yeah.
That one. And it's that navy blue, dark navy blue color. And the sweater I want to knit is a Hohi Locatelli sweater. It's called a Sammal, Sammal. And I actually saw somebody wearing a red one at EYF.
What was it?
Sammal.
And a solid sweater, no color work?
No color work.
Oh my god.
No. So this will probably take even longer than my Zweig because it's very textured. We'll see. It might just be a long-term project.
Well,
it is a very pretty sweater.
Are you doing it? Is it a sweater or is it a cardigan?
It's a cardigan. A cardigan is also a sweater.
Yeah, sorry.
Just not a pullover.
Yeah, sorry. That's what I meant.
I am doing it as a cardigan.
I'm looking at the picture now.
I did see the yarn that it calls for, at UIF, the Tuku wool, but there wasn't any color that really jumped out at me.
They don't have a. It was you saw it at the Isolde stand. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's Finnish.
And it was quite expensive.
And yeah, because it comes in 50-gram skeins. Although the one that you bought came in a 50-gram skein as well.
Yeah, I think it was mostly the colors that she had available was not nothing jumped out at me. So yep. So that's what I'm excited about right now, and that's all the crafting stuff that I have.
Yeah.
We finished our colorwork K-Cal.
Yeah, we finished that. We announced the winners on our mini knot episode. So congrats again to our 3 winners. And I'm going to be posting out Lisa's prize today from here.
Yep. And I will be mailing Joyce's prize today as well.
Cool.
Yeah. It was a happy coincidence that Danny was going to your place. I kept either forgetting to bring the package with me when I went out, or just didn't, doing stuff in the house and then having every intention of going to the post office that day and then end up not going out at all. So, and then I was talking to your dad and he's like, well, Danny's going to Edinburgh tomorrow. Why don't you just give it to him? Like, oh my God, I don't know why I didn't think about that.
Yep.
It'll be cheaper and it'll be faster.
Yep. But yeah, speaking of colorwork, I think my next whip will be something involving colorwork, but I won't say anything else.
Okay. Is this the thing that you've been designing in your head?
Yeah. So.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
If you don't know.
I mean, I was going to say, I've certainly got plenty of time to do it now because I got my new job, which is only 2 days a week.
What are you going to do with all that time on your hands?
Crochet.
Not cook dinner.
Oh, I've been cooking a bit more, actually.
You have?
As a matter of fact, yes. But yeah.
Do you have any favorite things?
No, do you?
Not really, but I do have to mention that it's really nice that we have family living all over the place, so we can go to different places to visit.
Oh, free!
And yeah, we can send nieces and nephews to different places to visit too.
Yeah, because Danny's staying with me, and then he's staying with my uncle in London.
And he's not even his uncle.
No. Yeah, you've got your network.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then of course we were in Miami earlier.
Yeah. It's not bad places for your relatives to be living. No.
Nope.
Let's see who else.
So one of my favorite things is to visit family in these different places.
Yeah. Well, you'll be back here in December.
Oh, that's so long from now.
Yeah, well,
it's like almost half a year.
It'll be fine. So, would you like to have a discussion about Avengers Endgame, even though we've had this discussion twice already? From our failed attempts at recording.
Sure, I mean, our listeners haven't heard any of this.
Yeah, so our nerdtastic take on Avengers Endgame. And now it's been out for several weeks, so more people will have gotten a chance to watch it if they want to watch it. And less people will be annoyed by spoilers, because there will be spoilers, so if you haven't seen Endgame and you don't want to be spoiled, just stop listening now. But yeah, so initial takeaways, liked it, didn't like it?
I did like it. I like that Captain America got his happy ending, and that Iron Man, I mean, he ends up dying, but he did have his happy ending that he had
A
he
normal
did have
life
his
for a bit.
daughter.
Yeah.
Normal life for 5 years before he ultimately sacrificed his life.
Yeah.
So those are two happy bits for me. I mean, there was a lot of plot holes, or maybe
Such is the nature of time travel. If you invoke time travel, you will have plot holes.
Yes, I agree with you. So there's some plot problems with that, and there were a lot of complaints about in the interwebs about Captain America's happy ending, how that's out of his character, he would never do that, blah 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 blah. So I feel like, well, he had his happy ending. He went back in time and he spent the rest of his life with Peggy Carter. But who's to say that he didn't do secret hero work on the side?
Yeah.
He probably did, because that's in his nature.
Yeah, or even like if
But
he
just
was
not
if he
as
was
Captain
like
America.
a police officer or a firefighter in his like normal day job, like he can do lots of good in that way as well, and also he's lived a long life. Give the guy a break.
Well, by the end of the movie, he would be like over 100 years old, I think.
Yeah. Wait, I'm trying to think of
Yes,
that.
he's
Well,
looking pretty spry for a 100-year-old.
yeah. I suppose part of his living, he's lived a long life, but he hasn't actually like been conscious for all of that life.
No,
Yeah.
he was asleep for
So.
however many years, 80 years or whatever it was. So. Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's not really living.
I
Sleeping.
I quite liked it as well. I think a lot of people liked Infinity Wars better, but I think I liked Endgame better. Like, I think it kept me gripped a bit more. I think because probably it's essentially the second half of the movie, right? This is part 2.
Mm-hmm.
And there were so many times where I was just clutching Sam's arm and just like jiggling it like, and because, like the time travel is maybe a cop out, as like some people are saying, but I think they did it well, despite the fact that they tried to be intelligent about it. Like they cite all these movies that like, oh, time travel is not like that basic. It's like this, and it's more complicated than that. But it didn't. Yeah, not necessarily doesn't make sense anyway. But they tried, and I think they still managed to make it interesting. Like with the whole, when the two nebulas were in the same time period, and then their information, whatever, like crossover. Crossover. Like, that was quite clever. And that was one of the moments where I was just like, oh my god, oh my god. Like, what is he gonna do?
I know. Yeah, there were a lot of cheering moments, like when Captain America summoned the hammer, Mjolnir, however way you pronounce it.
Yeah.
When he didn't just pick it up, he summoned it.
Yeah.
So it's like, how did he know how to do that?
I just knew.
But there was a lot of cheering.
Yeah, that's one of those things that I don't remember the original, like what that's calling back to. Like when Thor said, he said something like, I knew it, or
I knew it, yeah.
Or something. Well, like, I vaguely remembered, but I didn't really, really remember. And Sam certainly has no clue, because he hasn't seen the Thor movies, or the Captain America movies, or...
Well, it was in Ultron.
Okay, he's only seen Infinity Wars. He hasn't seen the other Avengers movies.
Okay, so in that movie, there was like a party at Tony Stark's place, and they were just hanging out and drinking, and they all decided to see if they could
pick up the
hammer. And nobody could, but when Captain America tried, it nudged a little tiny bit, and then they focused on Thor's face, and he was like nervous for a second, and then when he didn't pick it up, he's like, phew. So people are saying that, well, maybe he wasn't worthy back then, but he is worthy now. But my feeling is that he could pick it up. He realized he could pick it up, but he didn't, so Thor could save face.
Save face, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's just the kind of dude he is.
Yeah. Which maybe doubly
that's my
proves that he's worthy.
It's just my opinion.
Let's see what else.
Yeah.
I think that Black Widow shouldn't have had to die. I think Jeremy Renner should have been the one to finally plunge over the edge, because he's the one with the family, so I feel like it made more sense for him to like sacrifice himself for his family versus
Yes.
yeah, like I feel like he had more. Also, his haircut was stupid. So
The what was stupid?
his haircut was stupid.
Oh yeah, his haircut
like-
was stupid.
Yeah.
The mohawk. What were the mohawk called?
I don't know. Oh, what?
The mohawk guy.
Yeah. And then I was saying before, like the whole like timeline shift. Like, I don't know, like how they're gonna deal with that in future movies. I think the big thing, the timeline shift. Like it's 5 years later now, and so like they were gonna make another Spider-Man. Like, and if that other Spider-Man happens after this all happens, then it's 2024,
Yeah.
and his friends shouldn't be in high school anymore.
Well,
if they didn't disappear.
All of his friends got dusted. Every single one of them.
Oh,
all
that's
got
convenient. But yeah, so I don't know if they're actually gonna address that or just kind of plow through it like it never happened. Or I don't know. Presumably they'll have to address it in some way. But yeah, don't know. Trying to think if there's anything else.
I'm not as excited about watching Spider-Man as Madeline is. She's like all excited. It's coming out. It's coming out. Like, I don't really care. I was like, I'm perfectly happy to watch it when it comes on TV, but we'll probably all have to.
I was
go to
disappointed
movies to
that
watch with her.
because Andrew Garfield was Spider-Man for like what 2 movies before they rebooted it again.
Yeah.
And I really like Andrew Garfield. But I suppose at this point, he's not the right age to be Spider-Man.
No, he would just be old Spider-Man like in,
Yeah.
what is it, Into the Spider-Verse, where they're like different versions of him. Did you watch that one?
No, I haven't, but it's on my list to watch.
Yes. We're really nerdy.
Not that much.
Not that much.
No.
Madeline was watching something on YouTube, and it was a guy who had never seen any of the Marvel movies.
Oh, God.
To see Endgame.
Oh, that's really funny.
It was like, so it was pretty funny. He's like, oh, and guess who else watched it? Somebody that's never watched any of the Marvel movies.
Endgame?
Your grandfather, my dad, watched Endgame while he was on vacation.
Oh, I mean, you should have recorded that.
And I wasn't there. Danny was talking about it. And they were talking about it over Mother's Day dinner. And he was like, oh, I watched a movie. I don't know what it's called, but it's kind of like Star Wars. There was a purple guy. There was like a green person. And he went on and on. And,
Oh, God.
And then Danny kept saying, Endgame? Endgame? He's like, I don't know what it's called. And then finally it's like, yeah, you watched Endgame.
Oh,
He didn't know what the heck he was watching. It's
No
like, why did
kidding.
he watch it?
Did he have anything to say about it other than it looked like... No.
Not really. He just had no idea what was going on, but he sat through the whole entire movie.
Oh, 3 hours. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, the blue guy, the purple guy.
I feel like that's even worse than... Because, like, there was... When the last Harry Potter came out, I feel like there was some similar things where, like, people who had never seen any of the Harry Potter or watched any of the Harry Potter went to see it, and then, like, there's a podcast episode or, like, a YouTube video or whatever. I feel like this is even worse. Because it's way...
Yeah, because there's been, like, 22 movies.
But, yeah, and then across different, like, franchises, like, yeah, like, different storylines all coming together. It's not just one story. Oh, man. Yeah.
It's amazing that we're able to weave all of the movies into
Well, yeah,
this
you have
one.
to... See, I'm not, like, that much of a nerd because definitely some of the references passed me by in the movie. Like, I didn't get everything, probably. And I only just watched Ant-Man and the Wasp, like, on the flight home from Florida. So
you watched it after you watched Infinity War?
No, I watched Infinity
you
War
watched
when I
it
got
before.
home. So, yeah, I it was only, like, a few days before. So that whole thing with Ant-Man being stuck in the
quantum realm.
Yeah, like, that wouldn't have made any sense to me if I hadn't watched that. Luckily, Sam weirdly has seen, like, the sort of more minor, the later Avenger movies. So he's seen the Ant-Man ones, Guardians of the Galaxy, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, but he hasn't really seen Captain America or Thor or the original the first Avengers, and maybe he's seen Iron Man, some of them, probably not all of them, but maybe, because I feel like that was what kicked it all off, and they were pretty big, weren't they? So
yeah, I remember I did not see like the first two Iron Man in the theaters because I was painting. You guys went to see it. Daddy took you guys. So that was a long time ago.
Maybe he hasn't, though, because Mrs. Potts, she was in it, and he was just like, who's that? I was like, I'm not explaining to you right now.
Oh, you mean Miss Potts. Miss Potts.
Yeah, Miss.
Mrs.
Yeah,
Potts.
sorry.
I was thinking of Mrs. Potts,
And Chip? Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah, and
the
Chip
teapot.
from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Are we done babbling about Avengers?
I think so. Did you have any shop talk, or?
I do. We probably should have done this before our Nerdtastic.
Yeah. Well, so shop talk is all talking about my mom's Etsy shop, which is Pearl and Plum. Somebody commented on our last episode on YouTube. No, on the mini announcement episode maybe, and I hadn't actually mentioned what the shop was called. We often don't mention what the shop is called, but it's called Pearl and Plum. My mom sells project bags, and she makes them for herself, and they're awesome.
Okay, so Pearl and Plum is one of the sponsors of Boston Jen's
Summer/Pad
Studio podcast Summer/Pad Party. Did I say
it always
that
takes you
right?
a really long time to spit that out.
Because it's a lot of words. Anyway, it's a knit along. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of rules. There's a lot of ways to accumulate points. The more points you accumulate, the chances of you getting a prize is higher. So anyway, I am offering up a prize, which is a medium bag with swimming sheep. Sheep swimming in the ocean.
Yeah, and they're color. Are they colorful sheep, or is it just because they're wearing like?
No, they're wearing bathing suits.
And that one's got something on its head.
It's got a swim cap on his head.
Yeah, it's really cute.
They're very cute. So that's the prize. But I'm also selling an exclusive item to this party, and it's the sock version of this fabric.
With the same
and
sheep.
It's really cute. Of the same sheep. They're so cute. You don't have to be participating in the knit along to buy, obviously. But there is a coupon code for free domestic shipping for all orders over $30. You can check that out. The coupon code is SplashPad19, and you can get free shipping within the U.S. for orders over $30. If you're international, message me and we can work something out.
And when is that good until?
That is good until August 30th, the last day of August. Is that a 30th or the 31st? That's the 30th.
Last day of August
31st? 31st. Okay, it's August 31st. So that's it. These bags are really cute, and they are literally flying off the shelves, and I keep making them. I'm like up to my eyeballs in swimming sheet fabric, trying to making more of these bags because I keep selling them. But that's my shop talk.
Nice. Okay. Are we ready to say goodbye then?
Say goodbye.
Cool. So our show notes for this episode and every episode is on our website, which is kcacypodcast.wordpress.com. You can follow us on Instagram. Our podcast Instagram handle is kcacypodcast. My personal one is Alyson here. My mom's personal one is upstate_Viv. And make sure to subscribe and rate and like and comment and blah, 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 wherever you're watching this, whether that be YouTube or iTunes, wherever else you get your podcasts. So thank you for listening.
And remember to keep calm and carry on. I don't think I said that right.